Hello children, you're welcome. My name is Hamid. I'm going to take you through mathematics today. So we have learned so many things so far, and I hope you're enjoying these very nice lessons. So what we are going to do, we are going to continue. The other time I remember we looked at multiplication, and we had basically completing of tables that involved multiplication and division. Now I will not go back there, and today we are going to look at something else, division of whole numbers. And basically the numbers that we are going to look at today are those numbers that don't have remainders. So we are going to divide numbers without remainders. And my children, today we are going to look at a new method, in fact new methods of dividing, and that is what we call long division. Then we shall have another method sometime. So how do we use long division to divide numbers? We have here example 1, divide 8 by 2. So when we say 8 by 2, this means 8 divided by 2. If I just write it mathematically like that. Now, what are we supposed to do? We are going to bring what we call a long division symbol. So when I'm drawing a long division symbol, I draw a straight line. Then I can come and draw another straight vertical line. This is how I can draw it. You'll find another person drawing it in this way. I think you have ever seen this somewhere. Then I put this somehow curved. So those are two symbols, but they work the same. This long division and this one is also long division. Then when we are dividing here, we have two numbers here. Now we have what we call a divisor, then we have what we call a dividend. Now of these two numbers, which one is the dividend and which one is the divisor? The first number that you are dividing is called a dividend. When I say 8 divided by 2, meaning 8, I'm dividing 8. So 8 will become my dividend. Now, which one is a divisor? The number that is dividing. So in this case, 8 divided by 2, 8 is the dividend and 2 is the divisor. So when I'm putting my numbers in the long division symbol, where am I supposed to put the dividend? And where am I supposed to put the divisor? Those are the two things you first of all put in your brain. So, where does the dividend come? The dividend will come inside the symbol, right? Then the divisor will come out. So this is 8 divided by 2, and when we are putting in the long division, 2 will begin out, then 8 in the long division symbol. And how do we divide, my children? When we are dividing, we are going to follow this rule here called DMS. So D first, we are going to divide. Then what do we do after dividing? We multiply. Then what do we do after multiplying? We subtract. So the three things come here. We don't just divide, we do 2-3 things. Mostly when we are using long division. When we are dividing numbers using that method of long division. We have other methods of dividing, but here we are basically going to look at long division. So we move. What are we doing first? We are dividing. So we are just going to say 8 divided by 4. What is 8 divided by 4? There is that person who doesn't have answer immediately. It is very allowed. If you create that part of work, then you divide 8. This is 2, 2, and then you give 8. So I'll come and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many has each one got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Meaning 8 divided by 2 is 4. So we said we are doing 3 things. We are dividing, multiplying, and subtracting. That is our rule when we are using long division. Don't say, provided I've got the answer, let me stop there. That is wrong. You have to follow division, multiplication, and subtraction. So we have finished 1 division. Now, where are we going? We are going to multiplication now. And what do we multiply? We multiply the answer you have got by the divisor. Remember, we knew these numbers. We had the dividend, 8, and the divisor as 2. So when you get the answer, you multiply it by the divisor. But before we multiply, this answer we have got also has a name, and it is called quotient. It is called the quotient. So when we are using long division, after getting the quotient, you divide and get the quotient, then you multiply the quotient by the divisor. So how do I do it? Come just to the next line and have 4 times 2. You try to pull it before the symbol such that your answer goes direct to the dividend. So 4 times 2 is 8. And you must make sure it is arranged in that place value of the dividend. Why? We are going to subtract, and so we are subtracting vertically. So after getting that, I will now come and have this. Then I subtract. Don't forget to put that operation sign also. So what is 8 take away 8? 8 take away 8 is 0. Also, when we are using long division, it is allowed. If you get 0, just put there a dot to represent 0. This is okay, and it is okay only in long division. Don't take it anywhere else. If you are subtracting and say 8 take away 8, you get 0. So I'll just come and put there a dot. So you have done the 3 things: divided, multiplied, and subtracted. So you will come and finally write a conclusion as 8 divided by 2 equals to 4, your quotient that you have got. Then after that, I will come and smartly double underline and make that shows that you have finished. So if you leave it when you have not underlined, that is a different story. So my children, we are going to move on. Another one example, number 2. So we can also use words like share 9 mangoes. Share 9 mangoes among 3 boys. So when we are talking about share, this word is used in division. We share things by dividing. When they give you some money and say, share this money, so you will share by dividing. Give someone something, give another one, give another one. So we are sharing. Now, what are we going to do? If we are sharing 9 mangoes among 3 boys, this means we are going to have 9 divided by 3. As simple as that. So what do we do next? We are now going to introduce our long division. Smartly, just a straight line and another straight vertical line. So what don't you forget? Don't forget that during long division, we are going to have division, we have multiplication, and we shall have subtraction. So let us put, what do we call this number here? This number is called the dividend. Don't forget that. Then this one is called the divisor. So I first put the dividend in the symbol, then I put the divisor out here. So the dividend goes in and the divisor out. Then what are we going to do? We now follow our rule for long division. Divide, multiply, subtract. Now can we divide together? 9 divided by 3. Someone doesn't have the answer. So I told you it is allowed to come and create part of work. Then you will say 1, 2, 3. So you are giving out 9 mangoes, right? So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And how many has each got? 1, 2, 3. So after getting 3, come and write. Do you remember what we call that? This one is now called the quotient. It is called the quotient. So after getting your quotient or your answer, what do you go for now? You go to multiplication. So I will come here. What do I multiply? I will multiply the quotient by the divisor. So I'll come here and say 3 times 3. And when you are writing this for expression for multiplication, make sure it is not near the symbol, because your answer should go straight to the dividend, because you are going to subtract. So I'll have equals to 3 times 3 is 9. Then after getting 9, you now come and do the last one. Last one, I will draw this. Then I get to subtract. So what is 9 take away 9? 0. And I told you when the answer of subtraction is 0, we are free to just put there a dot, meaning we have finished and there is nothing else. So here we are going to have, lastly we are going to have 9 divided by 3 equals to 3. Then after that, get your ruler and underline. Now my children, I'm going to give you just 2 or 3 more examples that involve some bigger numbers. Like I have this one here, number 3. I have work out 12 divided by 6. Work out 12 divided by 6. That one looks so direct. So what are we going to do? Just get your pencil and a ruler, then you draw your long division smartly here. Straight. Then after that, we have 12 divided by 6. So 12 becomes the dividend and 6 becomes the divisor. So I write the dividend here as 12, then I write 6. Now my good children, this is a bit different. When we have more than one digit, 2, 3, 4, we take one by one. We cannot say immediately 12. We shall first of all begin with one digit on that number. So we shall have 1. What is 1 divided by 6? You realize that 1 is small. It can form a fraction. But we don't want here a fraction. We don't want to cut this. We want full. If there are mangoes, they should be full mangoes. If there are oranges, they should be oranges. So what is 1 divided by 6? 1 is small. And so what shall we do? We shall put there a 0, because we cannot. When the number is smaller than the divisor, we write a 0 there, right? Then after that, you now go to multiplication. You'll come and have 0 times 6 equals to 0. And the number multiplied by 0 is 0. Then after that, remember this work must be very smart. Every line you draw, you must use a ruler. So I'll leave this space for 2. Now, I subtract. What is 1 take away 0? We remain with 1. So 1 is back again. But we have some other numbers. Now that's when you come and pull out. Make sure this one drops down using that arrow. And now you add it to 1. Now you make another number that is 12. So you add this. If you get any remainder here, that's when we shall have that and bring the other number to make another bigger number that will divide, that will be able to fit in the divisor. So now we have 12. What is 12 divided by 6? Someone will come and get the answer here as part of work. Don't get a wrong answer ever. There is no wrong thing, there is no mistake in dividing this by using your balls and sharing very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I find the answer, I count only for 1. So 1, 2, meaning 12 divided by 6 is 2. So we have divided. And what comes next? Multiplication. So we are going to come down and say 2 times 6 equals 2. Make sure there is space. The answer you get after multiplication should be below the dividend because you are going to subtract vertically. So what is 2 times 6? That is 12. Then after that, we shall come, my good children, I hope you are following very, very well. We shall come and now subtract. Don't forget that operation sign. 2 take away 2, 0. Told you it is okay to put there a dot. Only in long division. Then what is 1 take away 1? 0. So we have finished. Once you get 0 here, you are done. You'll come and now say 12 divided by 6 equals to 2. And that will be your answer. By the way, if the question has units, like 6 mangoes divided by 2 boys, maybe share among 2 boys, your answer here must have mangoes also. Do not forget the units. Hope we're okay there. Then after getting my answer, because this one didn't have units, I'll come here and underline smartly like that. Then I move on. I want to give you, my good children, only one more example, then we move on. Number 4. Divide 264 by 2. 264 by 2. So what are we going to do? We can substitute this with a sign of division. So we are going to come here and say 264 divided by 2. Mathematically like that. Then I'll come and draw. I hope you are following very, very well. If you miss a step, you will not be able to do it well. So you must make sure you pay maximum attention. So what are we going to do here? 264 is now our dividend. And 2 is the divisor. Hope you know that. So we are going to put here our dividend, 264. Then we are dividing it by 2. So I told you once we go beyond 1 digit, we divide 1 by 1. So we cannot say 264 by 2. We shall begin with the very first digit on that number. So we are going to have 2 divided by 2. What is 2 divided by 2? Someone can come and draw balls. Don't be shy. It is better than getting a wrong answer. So you will come and say 2 divided by 2. You draw 2 and then have 1, 2. So what is 2 divided by 2? Each one will get 1. So you will come here and write 1. So you have finished dividing. What do you do next? Multiplying. So you are going to come here and say 1 times 2 equals to any number multiplied by 2 remains that very number. I mean by 1. Any number multiplied by 1 remains that very number. If I have 6 times 1, it remains 6. 1 times 6 is the same as 6 times 1. Don't say, but here we are multiplying 1 by a number. Still, if I say 1 times 2 is the same as 2 times 1, so it will remain that very number. Now I will come here and write 2. Remember, I've used the first digit. So don't get 2 and write it under 4. It will be wrong. I've used the first digit, and so my 2 will come below that first digit. Then I will come and subtract vertically. So what is 2 take away 2? 2 take away 2 is 0. Then we said when we get 0, we can just put there a small dot. It is allowed here in division. So I move. Since I've got 0 here, I'll just come and pull down here the next number, and that is 6. Don't divide it from here. I'll bring it here and then have 6 divided by 2. What is 6 divided by 2? You'll still come here and draw your balls. 1, 2, then I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is 6 divided by 2? 1, 2, 3. Each one will get 3. So I'll come and write here 3. But remember, we do 3 things: divide, multiply, and subtract. So we have finished dividing 6. What are we going to do? Multiplying. So we are going to have the quotient by the divisor. The quotient is 3 and 2 is the divisor. So what is 3 times 2? 3 times 2 shall get 6. Write it below the dividend. Don't write it anywhere. Work must be well arranged. If you write it here, you will not be able to subtract. Assume I wrote my 6 here. How can I subtract when it is not in a straight line? This becomes wrong. So make sure you arrange it well below the dividend. So what is 6 take away 6? 6 take away 6 is 0. So I can put there a dot. Then lastly, I get now the last digit. Remember, we divide 1 digit by 1. So I will bring my 4 here. Then what do? I'll now get 4 by 2. What is 4 divided by 2? Still, don't fail. Come here and draw 2. Then you say 1, 2, 3, 4, and count. How many has each got? 1, 2. Meaning 4 divided by 2 is 2. Then after that, what do we do? After dividing, we multiply. And after multiplying, we subtract. So we are going to have 2 times 2 equals to 4. Now when I'm writing 4, don't write it here near. Go and write it below the number that you have divided. Then after that, I will have my ruler and draw that line. Okay? Using a ruler. Then we are going to subtract. What is 4 take away 4? 4 minus 4 is 0, and we are free to put there a dot. So we have finished all the numbers. If there is no any other number, then this will be your quotient, and this will be your answer. So you will come down and say 264 divided by 2 equals to 132. And then smartly underline your work. So my dear children, I want to stop here. I think I've given you enough examples. If you have not gotten the first one, what I know you followed in the second one, and you also you've been following up the last example. So I want to leave you with some few numbers here. As you do them well, we shall meet in the next lesson. Bye-bye.